One of the key ways to theme a toy line is to base it around common childhood aspirational characters. For girls, this tends to be flowers and fairies and mermaids. For boys, it tends to be rock monsters, robots, aliens, and, well, let's not forget the ever popular lizard man, or, reptile dude. Whatever you want to call it, whether it's Mondo Gecko or a Gorn or Savage Dragon or Marvel's The Lizard, lizard characters pop up a lot because, well, like Indiana Jones, snakes make good bad guys. And the natural reptilian brain concept and the fact that we have a natural fear of cold-blooded creatures makes them good bad guys. Now, the thing is, there was a lizard reptile character in Masters of the Universe that was not a bad guy. And that's what we're talking about today. Lizard Man. Now, obviously, there's a lot of snake bad guys in Masters of the Universe. We just went through a couple of them. Whiplash, Snake Man, Saurod. And actually, Lizard Man is one of the 3 reptilian species that was what was used to create the Snake Man. It was actually Whiplash and Saurod and Lizard Man's DNA, their species, if you will, that was mixed to create the Snake Men. So, Lizard Man, though, not being a Snake Man, being a lizard, although I guess that just means he has arms and legs, unlike snake men that shouldn't, even though they do. Well, he's quite beloved, and a big reason for this is he's from the Filmation series, and he's one of the only original characters from Filmation that was a good guy. I mean, there were other good guys, Malaka, not architect, the archaeologist, but for the most part, the non-human, more colorful characters that were created for Filmation, meaning they weren't based on existing Mattel toys, were bad guys. And so getting a original good guy from Filmation was definitely top of a lot of fans' lists, and we were well aware of this. Getting to Lizard Man as, He-Man's ally and occasional hug buddy, well, this was something we wanted to get into the line, but there were a few difficulties, and that's mainly because Lizard Man has a very unique body type. He's thinner than most characters. He doesn't have that over-muscular body that is so, I guess, trademarkable to Masters of the Universe. Actually, it's not. Courts threw that one out. So, the fact that he has a unique body, combined with the fact that he's highly wanted from fans, i.e. all of the fan art that's been created over the years showing what he could have looked like in the 2000X show, or what he could have, or should have, or might look like in classics. Lots of people doing concept art as the years went by. So yeah, clearly there was a demand for this character, and again, the fact that it falls into a sort of stereotypical boy motif of Reptile Man, shall we say, or, Lizard Man, actually literally what his name is, and the fact that he's a good guy, because when you take something that is normally kind of a bad guy motif, like a lizard or a bat or a dragon, but you make that into a good guy character, like Batman or Lizard Man, or is there a good guy dragon? Drago Man? No, he was a bad guy. Well, we'll go Savage Dragon. All right, let's go with that one. So yeah, there's that makes basically an extra desirability, shall we say, for the character when it's a sort of evil motif but done as a good guy. The same when a sort of a good motif is done as a bad guy. It tends to be, breaking the norm. So from his cool webbed fingers to his long tail to his super skinny legs, arms, and torso, boy, was that a lot of tooling. And that's why it took a while to get to Lizard Man. We couldn't put him out in the first year of Filmation, even though he was probably one of the most requested characters, and the fact that he is a good guy, unlike all the other Filmation characters. But unless we were going to double down and do, Lizard Man wearing, hoodie, it was basically a one and done. We weren't exactly going to get variants of Lizard Man, even though, I suppose we could have if we, really scraped the bottom of the barrel for his appearances. But no, his blue tunic and shorts is basically the standard look and the one we knew fans would want. And, well, we knew it was going to be a lot of tooling, which is why we had to fit him into a tooling-only slot. Now, his accessories are also worth talking about because Lizard Man, well, he never uses accessories. So we use the opportunity to tool up some accessories for existing characters. And in this case, Skeletor got 2 Filmation accessories, his sword and the Diamond Ray of Disappearance, which should really be like the Diamond Box of disappearing energy. I don't know. It's not really I don't know. Is it a ray? I guess it shoots a ray. Well, this was one of the most iconic Masters of the Universe weapons, shall we say, artifacts. And while you could clearly use it to propose to other action figures for a marriage that was made in action figure heaven, this really is a series of accessories for Skeletor. Lizard Man being a good guy and not having any dedicated accessories meant that we could use his slot to help arm up more Filmation accessories for existing. That's what we did. So, Lizard Man came to life, the first ever and maybe one of the only Lizard Man action figures that will ever get done. It's because of the tooling. When you have a fully tooled figure, be it Lizard Man or Ram Man or some of the Snake Men, it's tough. You have to find a slot so you could balance it out with all the partially tooled figures that will help pay for the fully tooled figure. And while head swaps are one way of doing this, you really have to think of it as an art form where if you want a very, very powerful character, but they require a lot of tooling, you need to make sure to release that in a year where a lot of partially tooled figures will help compensate for the higher price of the fully tooled figure.